So, you've heard about Roseville, Elk Grove, and some other popular communities around Sacramento. But what about Citrus Heights? Citrus Heights sometimes gets overlooked because it does not have that master planned appearance of some of the newer suburbs. It doesn't have a historic downtown filled with nightlife or rows of brand new luxury developments. But that may be exactly why certain buyers find it so interesting. Citrus Heights is established, centrally located, filled with mature neighborhoods and close to many places that people visit for work, shopping, or recreation. I'm Tasha with the TNT team of TNT VRE, and along with my partner Tony, we help people buy and sell homes throughout the Sacramento and surrounding communities. Whether you're planning to make your move in 6 months or 16 months, we're here to help you make the process much easier. Before we begin, make sure you click the subscribe button below so you can be the first to know about the different cities, neighborhoods, housing markets, and changes taking place throughout the Sacramento region. Also, scan that QR code on the screen to receive a copy of our buyer's guide. It will help you understand the buying process and prepare before you move and begin looking at homes. Today we are taking a complete look at Citrus Heights. We will talk about its location, its neighborhoods, schools, shopping, restaurants, recreation, nightlife, housing styles, commuting considerations, and how close it is to, say, Roseville, Elk Grove, or even downtown Sacramento, or even the airport, Sacramento International Airport. And make sure you stay till the end because I will explain who I believe Citrus Heights may be a good fit for and who may be happier looking somewhere else. So, where is Citrus Heights? Let's begin with its location. Citrus Heights its location is probably one of its biggest advantages. It's northern Sacramento County. It sits next to or very close to Roseville, Fair Oaks, Carmichael, and the Foothills area. It gives residents access to several different parts of the Sacramento region without living directly in the center of Sacramento or paying the price that may come with some neighboring communities. Roseville is immediately north of Citrus Heights, and depending on where you live and where you are going, portions of Roseville may be reached in approximately, say, 10 to 20 minutes when traffic is moving normally. Folsom is generally located, say, 20 to 30 minutes away, depending on, again, your starting point, traffic, whether you're traveling toward the historic Folsom area or farther east towards newer parts of the city. Downtown Sacramento is often somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes without heavy traffic. However, during commuting hours, Interstate 80 and the connecting surface streets can become very congested. So a buyer should never judge a commute based on what the map says at the 2 o'clock on the Sunday afternoon, right? Sacramento International Airport, that's roughly, say, 21 to 25 miles away, with typical driving estimates of approximately 25 to 35 minutes under lighter conditions. During peak travel or commuting periods, you should allow additional time, obviously. Elk Grove, however, is farther south and usually require traveling through or around Sacramento. Depending on traffic, again, depending on where you're going, your exact destination, the drive could take approximately 35 to 50 minutes and even longer during the busier times of the day, traffic, etc. This means that Citrus Heights works perfectly for someone whose daily activities are spread out all across northern and eastern Sacramento. Someone working in Roseville, Rancho Cordova, Carmichael, North Sacramento, or portions of Folsom may find the location especially practical. Now, what does Citrus Heights feel like? Citrus Heights feels like an established Sacramento suburb rather than a newly constructed community. You're going to find, again, more mature trees, older residential streets, homes with traditional yards, neighborhood shopping centers, apartment communities, townhomes, condominiums, and commercial corridors. The city was officially incorporated in 1997, but many of its neighbors and homes existed long before that. This is not a city where every neighborhood looks the exact same. One street may have a smaller ranch-style home built decades ago. A few minutes away, you might find larger properties, remodeled homes, newer infill construction, townhomes, gated communities. Lot sizes, street appearances, and maintenance, all characteristics can change considerably from one section to another. That variety can be an advantage because it gives buyers several housing choices within a very small range of area. However, it also means that you should evaluate Citrus Heights neighborhood by neighborhood. It's not simply decide whether you like the entire city based on driving along Sunrise Boulevard or Greenback Lane. That would be a mistake. There's obviously a lot more of different types of homes in the short range, right? The commercial corridors are busy and convenient, while many residential streets feel much more quiet when you move away from those main roads. So, let's talk housing in Citrus Heights. Housing is one of the main reasons buyers consider Citrus Heights. Compared with certain parts of Roseville, Folsom, Granite Bay, or newer communities, Citrus Heights has historically offered opportunities to purchase an established home without necessarily paying the premium associated with newer construction or highly competitive master plan neighborhoods. However, affordability is relative. Prices depend on the home's condition, right? The size, the lot, whether there are any renovations, the location, and proximity to major roads or commercial areas. Many Citrus Heights homes were constructed during the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. That gives the community character, but it also means buyers should pay attention to the age and condition of those major systems, right? A beautiful kitchen does not automatically mean the roof, electrical panels, sewer line, plumbing, etc. have all been updated. So make sure you look into those, what has been updated, what needs to be updated, and what you might want to avoid. Some of the older homes have been completely renovated. Some others still have original or partially updated components. That is why professional home inspection and the appropriate specialized inspections when necessary can be especially important. The benefit is that older neighborhoods often provide features buyers appreciate, including mature trees, landscaping, established yards, traditional yards, and streets that do not feel like they were just built yesterday. You may not get perfectly coordinated appearance of a new subdivision, but you might get a larger yard and a lot more separation between your homes, giving yourself some privacy from your neighbors. Or a property that can be improved over time. So if it does need improvements, it doesn't have to happen tomorrow. Okay, shopping and everyday convenience. Citrus Heights is one of the places where you're usually not far from things you need. Sunrise Boulevard and Greenback Lane are two of the city's most important commercial corridors. Along them and in surrounding areas, residents have access to grocery stores, restaurants, fitness centers, retailers, and everyday conveniences. Citrus Town Center, Marketplace at Birdcage, Sunrise Valley, and the Sunrise Mall area have long been familiar shopping destinations, right? Some centers are stronger and more active, while others are retail landscape and change over time, just as it has in many suburban communities. One of the most significant stories in Citrus Heights is the planned transformation of approximately 100-acre Sunrise Mall property. The city adopted the Sunrise Tomorrow specific plan to allow for long-term mixed-use redevelopment of site. In March of 2026, the city approved a partnership framework connected with a proposed Sunrise City Sports Center envisioned as an early catalyst for a much larger development down the road. Because the project is evolving, buyers should treat that proposed components and timelines as plans rather than completed amenities. We don't know how long it's going to take. It could take a few months, it could take a few years. You just need to keep that in mind. The development that could become extremely important to Citrus Heights is a successful combination of recreation, entertainment, housing, dining, community gathering spaces, and new businesses that would give the city more identifiable center. But large redevelopment projects, like I said, take time, and plans can change. I would consider the Sunrise Tomorrow project a potential long-term benefit, not something a buyer should assume it will be fully completed immediately after moving in. That's not going to happen. For major regional shopping, the Westfield Galleria at Roseville and the surrounding Roseville retail district are only a relatively short drive north. That gives Citrus Heights residents access to one of Sacramento's shopping real estate shopping destinations without driving too far. And you don't have to live directly in Roseville either. Now, with that, shopping goes dining, right? Restaurants and dining. Citrus Heights dining scene, it's more casual and it's not glamorous at all. You're going to find familiar national restaurants, local Mexican food, pizzas, burgers, and all of that stuff. Restaurants frequently mentioned by visitors include El Tapatio, Leatherby's Family Creamery, Black Angus. A lot of those can change, right? Some places stay in business, some places unfortunately do not, so things come and go. This is a convenient area for grabbing dinner without traveling too far. But Citrus Heights is not currently known as Sacramento's region premier fine dining destination. That's more Granite Bay area. The advantage is that residents can expand their choices relatively quickly. Roseville, like I said, is not far, and that provides a larger selection of restaurants, say around the Galleria, the Fountains, and Old Roseville. Folsom isn't too far either, and that has dining around Palladio, historic Folsom, East Bidwell, and then Fair Oaks also has its own restaurants and gathering spots in and around Fair Oaks Village. And when you want bigger nightlife, bigger night out, Midtown and downtown Sacramento provide all the bars and the live music, theaters, sporting events, clubs, breweries, and much more late night dining scene. Okay, moving on to nightlife. Let's be honest, because I know that matters to some buyers. Citrus Heights does not have an extensive walkable nightlife district where you can park once and spend the entire evening moving between clubs and lounges and rooftop bars and live music venues. That's not Citrus Heights. The local nightlife is, like I said earlier, more relaxed. A typical evening may include dinner with drinks at a neighborhood restaurant or sports bar, bowling, maybe a movie, a community event, or meeting friends at one of the commercial centers. For more energetic nightlife, many residents travel to Old Roseville or maybe historic Folsom, Midtown Sacramento, of course, downtown Sacramento, and Thunder Valley Casino is near Lincoln, which is not too far either. So if your idea of the perfect location includes walking out of your condominium and immediately finding 10 bars and live music, Citrus Heights may not be the best choice for you. But if you prefer quieter residential setting and do not mind driving 15 to 30 minutes when you want a major night out, the location gives you several options. The nightlife is not necessarily inside Citrus Heights, but Citrus Heights is positioned between enough activity and enough communities that entertainment is still very accessible. Moving on to parks and recreation with outdoor activities. Citrus Heights has numerous parks, playgrounds, sports facilities, and community activities provided largely through the Sunrise Recreation and Park District. Rush Park is one of the best known recreational locations in the area. It includes spaces for sports, community activities, and the Park District has also developed a skate park there. There's also C-Bar Sea Park. That's another recognizable community park, and it includes an off-leash dog area for your doggies to run free. Other parks and neighborhood recreation spaces provide playgrounds, fields, picnic area, and room for outdoor activities. The Citrus Heights Event Center also hosts meetings, celebrations, community programs, and private events. So Citrus Heights is also reasonably close to outdoor destinations beyond its city limits. There's Folsom Lake, there's the American River, Lake Natoma, Miners Ravine Trail, and recreation areas around Roseville and Folsom are accessible by car. This gives residents opportunities for walking, cycling, kayaking, boating, picnics, and other outdoor activities without living directly beside those destinations. All right, moving on to schools. Most public schools serving Citrus Heights are part of a San Juan Unified School District, which operates schools across Citrus Heights and several neighboring communities. The district serves more than 50,000 students across dozens of elementary, middle, and high school programs. Schools associated with Citrus Heights include Cambridge Heights Elementary, Skycrest Elementary, Arlington Heights Elementary, Carriage Drive Elementary, and Grand Oaks Elementary, just to name a few. The ratings are all mixed. They're all over the board. A school rating may combine test results, student progress, college readiness, and other information. It does not tell you everything about individual teachers, special programs, campus culture, extracurricular activities, or whether the school is right fit for a particular student. But that's why buyers should conduct their own research. Review the California School Dashboard. Visit the school and the district websites. Speak directly with the school administrators. Tour the campuses when possible. And evaluate the programs that matter to you and to your family, to your children specifically. Like I've said many times before, never assume that a home attends a particular school just because the school appears to be close enough on the map. It's not, do your homework. School boundaries, enrollment rules, transfers, and programs can change year to year. Always verify the assigned school directly with the district before purchasing a home just for a school. All right, let's talk commuting and transportation, right? Citrus Heights is primarily a driving community. You're not going to necessarily walk much. Interstate 80 is the closest major freeway for many residents, while Sunrise Boulevard, Greenback Lane, Auburn Boulevard, and Antelope Road are important local routes, and they also lead you to I-50. The positive side is that Citrus Heights is centrally positioned between many employment and commercial areas. The negative side is that getting from your home to Interstate 80 may require you driving on very busy surface streets, like Sunrise, Greenback. They can become very congested, especially during commuting hours, school traffic, holidays, or busy shopping periods, because Roseville, the Galleria, is just off Sunrise. Some Sacramento Regional Transit bus services operate through the area, but the convenience will depend heavily on your exact neighborhood and where you're going, your destination. For most residents, owning a vehicle is still the most practical transportation choice. As always, my recommendation is simple. Test your commute personally, all hours of the day. Drive from home to your workplace during the actual time you would be going to work. Then drive back in the afternoon during the time you'd be leaving work. See what your commute feels like. Do not rely entirely on a mileage estimate, because 10 miles of Sacramento area traffic can feel very different depending on the road and the time of day. That being said, no community is perfect, and Citrus Heights has some considerations buyers should be interested in. First, the appearance and condition of the neighborhoods can vary. One house may look great, another house may need to be fixed up. Some streets are beautifully maintained, while other pockets feel more commercial, crowded, or inconsistent. Secondly, because much of the housing is older, properties may require repairs or updates. Third, the city does not currently have the same large concentration of newer home communities found in places like Roseville or Southern Elk Grove. Fourth, school ratings are mixed. Making careful address-specific research is especially important. Fifth, nightlife within the city is limited compared to, say, Midtown or downtown Sacramento, even Old Roseville or historic Folsom. Finally, traffic on major surface roads can be frustrating. Living close to shopping is convenient, but living directly next to a busy commercial corridor may also mean additional noise and congestion. There's not an automatic reason to avoid Citrus Heights. There are reasons to select the right neighborhood and property carefully. Verify school information directly and test your commute during the hours when you will actually be driving them. This is the honest way to evaluate Citrus Heights, not by asking whether the entire city is good or bad, but by determining whether a particular home or street or neighborhood and location are right for you and your family. Before you leave, make sure you click the subscribe button below. We are continuing to cover Sacramento and the surrounding communities, so you can compare your options before you make your move or even before you start looking. Also, scan the QR code on the screen to receive your buyer's guide. Whether you're planning to move in 6 months or 16 months, we are here to help make the process easier for you. I'm Tasha with the TNT team of TNT VRE, and we, along with my partner Tony, we thank you for watching this, and we look forward to helping you decide where in Sacramento region you want to call home. So, see you next time.